Lindberg, wider than a mile. I'm crossing you in style. Are those your friends up there? Hassan, are those your friends? Okay, so for those of you who've just arrived, we are doing a Wild Bob's Musical Book Club wherein these nice librarian types over here assign a book every month, and some of us write songs about this book and then perform our song once a month on the second Friday at Lindberg's on Commercial Street. The book of the month here tonight is Maurice, also known as Maurice. It's an in joke. You guys kind of missed it. Turns out it's also pronounced Morris if you're British, of a certain class, maybe. I'll bet a lot of British people just call it Maurice. But, so yeah, it was a story by EM Forster, a gay man, kind of follows his life from the beginning, early ages, and he doesn't know he's gay when he's a kid, and then later on he sort of gets exposed to who he really is, and being the time in England especially, it was not something he could really. You get the idea, okay. You tell him. You tell him after the show. So my song, this kind of goes with the idea of what this little young man felt and thought. And it's sort of a soft, sleepy song, so go ahead and nod off as you probably, you have permission, I'll say that. A lovely silver moon comes down and pulls me through the curtain, smiling there above the trees, awakening a virgin, shining o'er the handsome men, calling me to wicked sin, waning just to wax again and throw me like the southern wind. So I learned to hold my breath and float below the water. Here a ray of light comes down, a silver moon marauder. Slow it goes, it dimly shines and touches me as if to find a secret cask of sacred wine, my sister's love as well as mine. Who should care if I should find some happy What are we to molecules whom God created wicked crew and burdened with opposing rules to bury deep our digging tools? Let's among the blades of green our sabers out their sheath, dig a hole below the world and frolic there beneath. There exists a wicked love in earth below and sky above. Such wickedness consisting of the heart that stirs the cooing dove. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm going to do one. Paul and Joe, our friends from Fair Grove, have invited some of us to write songs for their Fair Grove reunion. Is it an annual event there, Paul? Annual event. Last weekend of September, and I wrote one. The premise is that I went on, so I always do research, on these things, and so I went and read about Fair Grove. I noticed they said, yeah, the name comes from some people who came, the settlers, early settlers from Fair Grove, who came from Fair Grove, North Carolina, and they saw some trees, and they said, look, let's call it Fair Grove, just like where we came from. It turns out there was no proof that this has ever happened. I followed it up with a historian they took it down, but before they took this information down, I went ahead and wrote my song based on this potential fact that settlers of Fair Grove came from North Carolina. And so my next step was to see, all right, where is it? How do you get there from there? So I wrote the song based on the directions, how to get to Fair Grove, North Carolina. We start our episode heading east on South Grove Road. Make a right-hand turn on Maple Eve. Just keep going straight until you hit the 38. Shares a sign with Road 523. Point your nose southeast or else just lean that way at least. Nashville and you're almost halfway there. Knoxville in Asheville in a little place called Moxville. Take a lovely northern drive at the 29 and the 85. Exit in C109, go south and right on Cedar Lodge. Half a mile and turn your car around. We be gone for 19 hours, let's find a place to take a shower. Tomorrow we're headed westward bound. You may not see any sign of old Fair Grove, North Carolina, but that's where you are, enjoy the view. Some folks left and some remain, then they took out on a wagon train, and we don't know where they got to, but now we do. out that way. You don't know how they got there, now you do. They just hopped on the 85 toward the west and they reversed the above for all the rest. Thank you. All right, now for the grand finale, it is chat time with Jordan. So come on up and